when we wake up, a common practice in the health and wellness space is intermittent fasting and not taking any calories in until, say, lunch, or some people are pushing it even further and having one meal a day or even doing longer fasts multiple days. So I'm really curious on how you think about fasting and if it's ever beneficial, or because of what we just talked about, we should be avoiding it.
Yeah, lots of pieces. I had a couple of other thoughts come in, so now I'm thinking about too many things. But um, so again, how you answer that question depends a little on the stress you're under. If again you're pretty healthy, your muscle mass, you're pretty active, and you want to do a time restricted feeding, uh, I usually use the term first meal as opposed to breakfast. And so whether that first meal is at 7 in the morning or 11:30, it's still the first meal. And whatever that first meal is needs to be high protein. Okay, so that kind of addresses time restricted eating. Um, the more stress you're under, if you're trying to lose weight, if you're 65 or 70 and you're stressed, more likely to be losing muscle mass, you're weaker. I think moving it to as soon as possible in the morning becomes more and more important. I practice sort of a slightly different form of it. The purpose of intermittent fasting is to control calories. There's no magic about it. It's a way of controlling calories. Condense your eating into 2 meals and people seem to eat less. Okay. But you get the same effect if you just control the calories and eat 3 meals a day. There's no magic to time restricted feeding. It's just a calorie thing. So another approach to be that I actually practice is I tend to have my protein fairly early in the day. So I blunt that overnight effect and I basically skip the noon meal. I don't eat in the middle of the day and then I eat again late. So I'm not restricting my time, but I'm restricting my meals. So 2 meals close together or 2 meals far apart, it's still 2 meals.
The only thing I'd push back on there is when it comes to intermittent fasting, having that eating window narrowed and keeping things, say, within a 6 hour window, you're going to keep blood glucose down in the morning, keep insulin down, and keep into fat burning rather than spiking insulin, blood glucose, having even a high protein meal in the morning. And then you start that blood sugar roller coaster, even if you're eating a healthy diet.
I totally disagree with that. And
Okay, talk about it.
we've published that. So by lowering blood carbohydrates in the morning, you can avoid the insulin. But if you do what I said and get the carbohydrates protein into a 1-to-1 ratio, you won't see that. So the satiety effects, the blood roller coaster effect of a high carb, low protein diet, you will mitigate that just by getting the carbs down. So we usually put a limit of carbohydrates on that breakfast meal of about 30 grams. And we basically will correct metabolic syndrome. We'll take away those swings just by getting it down. So intermittent fasting may be a way of controlling it, but if you still end up with a high carb meal at dinner, you're still going to have the same problems. If you still have a high carb, low protein diet, even though you do intermittent fasting, you're still going to have the same problems.
Okay, but what if we have somebody that is watching their carbs and still maintaining a narrow eating window? So they're eating, say, a similar
Again,
diet to you, but they're
carbohydrate.
narrowing the window.
Yeah.
I just want to push back because this
I
is
don't.
the common word on the street
Yeah.
within the health and wellness
The,
space, the people I talk to.
the research doesn't back that. The research doesn't back that narrowing the window is better than just correcting the macronutrients. If you correct the macronutrient balance, your eating pattern, I don't know of any data that says that's better. We've done the experiment with 3 meals a day repeatedly, and our data basically reflects the same glycemic control as you get with a keto diet or time restricted feeding. So I think they all work as an approach and people can choose it, but arguing that one approach is better than the other, the data doesn't back that.
No, and that's why this is important we hash it out, because a lot of people are thinking what I'm talking about. So hearing a different perspective, and you're somebody that is
And
knee deep
I'm
in the
not
science.
saying,
So
yeah, I'm not saying that that approach doesn't work, but I'm saying that you can do it in other ways that are just as effective. And, it may suit your lifestyle better. I feel better having an early meal, and, I get the same effects.
if you enjoyed that clip, press here for the full episode. I'll see you over there.
It's all about balance and ratios. And so, again, you can do it. And there's vegetarians and vegans out there who are very skilled at it, but the average consumer has no clue.